It's a serene, in a quiet suburban neighborhood. Daniel Wilson, 32, a successful software engineer from Austin, Texas, who seemed to have it all, a thriving career, a new home, and a beautiful wife, Sarah Richards, 29, a marketing executive. They had married just 3 months ago, after a whirlwind romance that began online. They had a joyful wedding celebration, surrounded by friends and family. Daniel and Sarah appear blissfully happy, completely in love. But behind closed doors, Sarah carried a secret, one she never intended to share, believing her past was her own to bury. However, the truth was about to come out in the most tragic way possible. Daniel thought he had found the love of his life, but a devastating discovery would soon unravel the very fabric of their marriage, leading to a night of horror no one saw coming. Daniel and Sarah met on a dating app and instantly clicked. Sarah was charming, witty, and beautiful, with a passion for art and travel. Daniel admired her confidence and sophistication. After a year of dating, Daniel proposed to Sarah at a beachside resort, and she said yes without hesitation. Friends described the couple as inseparable, deeply in love, and eager to start their future together. Sarah's past as a transgender woman was never a topic of discussion between them. After transitioning in her early 20s, Sarah had moved to a new city, started a new life, and rarely looked back. She never imagined her past would catch up with her. Sarah believed that her past was behind her and that Daniel would never need to know. But sometimes, secrets have a way of surfacing, even when we try our hardest to keep them buried. One evening, while organizing some documents in their home office, Daniel came across a medical folder tucked away in the bottom of a drawer. He wasn't searching for anything in particular, but curiosity got the better of him. As he flipped through the documents, his heart sank. The papers detailed hormone treatments, surgeries, and the medical history of someone who had undergone gender transition. The name on the documents, Sarah Richards. Daniel's world shattered. Confused, angry, and hurt, he immediately confronted Sarah. The scene escalates as Sarah tearfully admits that she had transitioned years before they met, choosing not to disclose her past for fear of losing Daniel. Sarah's emotional plea to Daniel falls on deaf ears. In a rage, Daniel accuses her of lying to him, betraying his trust, and fabricating their entire relationship. Daniel felt his entire marriage had been built on a lie. His love for Sarah turned to betrayal, and betrayal soon morphed into something far darker. Daniel left the house that night, furious, his mind racing. He stayed with a friend for a few days, but refused to speak with Sarah. Over those days, Daniel's emotions spiraled, replaying the moment of discovery over and over again in his mind. He felt humiliated, confused, and betrayed by the person he loved most. Sarah, desperate to fix their marriage, sent Daniel texts and emails, apologizing and begging him to come home. She explained how deeply she loved him, how she feared his rejection, and how she thought they could still be happy together. But each message only fueled Daniel's growing anger. When Daniel finally returned to their house on April 12, 2023, he wasn't coming to reconcile. The tense atmosphere between them is palpable, as they begin arguing again in the kitchen. Sarah, in tears, tries to reach out to him, but Daniel's rage boils over. In that moment, the man who had once promised to love and protect Sarah became the very person she feared most. What happens next unfolds in the kitchen, a confrontation that escalates into violence. In a fit of uncontrollable rage, Daniel grabs a kitchen knife. Sarah's panicked, her desperate pleas, and the sounds of the struggle. Daniel, twisted with anger and shock at his own actions. By the time it's over, Sarah lies dead on the floor, and Daniel, covered in blood, stands over her, horrified by what he's done. A man once driven by love was now driven by uncontrollable fury. In mere moments, that fury transformed into a nightmare that would haunt him forever. The police were called to the scene by a neighbor who had heard the commotion. When they arrived, Daniel was still in the house, kneeling next to Sarah's lifeless body, crying uncontrollably. He was arrested on the spot without resistance. At the trial, Daniel's defense team attempted to claim temporary insanity, arguing that the shock of Sarah's secret caused him to lose control. However, the prosecution argued that Daniel's inability to accept his wife's past did not excuse the horrific crime he committed. Sarah's friends and family testified about her struggles, her bravery in transitioning, and how she deserved the life she had fought so hard to create. In February 2024, Daniel was found guilty of second-degree murder and sentenced to 35 years in prison. The weight of the tragedy clear on everyone's faces. In the end, both lives were destroyed, one by a secret, the other by a moment of rage. This tragic story serves as a stark reminder of the dangers of hidden truths and the catastrophic effects of unchecked emotions. Sarah's secret was born out of fear, but fear became the very thing that ended her life. In a world where understanding and acceptance should prevail, this story shows the tragic consequences of the lack thereof.